Hey everyone, welcome to Parenting Parrots. I'm Mixie Casanova, and I just want to apologize if anybody just seen the video I just uploaded. It was the wrong channel, wrong video, completely wrong context, everything. It had nothing to do with parrots. And when I realized it, I was up until like 4 o'clock in the morning for you guys, trying to record videos and get things done. And I have another like family channel that I recorded something for, and I uploaded it thinking that it was on the right channel. Went to my bed completely tired, like I was falling asleep during one of my videos. And then I look back and I'm like, oh no, it's on the wrong channel. And I think it had like 5 views on it, nothing big, you know. So anyhow, please, if you've seen that, I do apologize. Anyhow, today I want to talk to you guys about bedding. And when I say bedding, I'm talking about the type of things that you use to cover the bottom tray of your bird's cage. And I just know there's so many different ideas out there, and sometimes we just don't know which one's the best one to use. So I came to my Parrot Facebook page to see what they had to say, because I remember we had a post about what people use to line the bottom of their trays. So I did come back to it, and I wanted to tell you guys ideas, so therefore you guys would be able to have options. So let's start with what I use, and I've just used what was cheap, what was affordable for me, what was the closest thing to um, being able to continually use, which was newspaper at first. Now, back in the day, newspaper used to have lead ink used. Now they don't, so it's a safe option to use. However, it's a big spread sometimes, but again, when I'm rolling it, it does, stuff does spill out. So I might have to look for another option. And the other option that I went to was doggy pee pads. So I do use doggy pee pads. Now, I was made aware that there's chemicals in doggy pee pads, so if the birds come in contact with the chemicals in the doggy pee pad, it could be dangerous. I make sure that the doggy pee pads cannot come in contact with the parrots. So there's a tray, like I have the grid, or the crate, or whatever you want to call it, that's over the tray, so my birds don't come in contact with the bedding that I use. Anyhow, another option that I use is paper towel, which I like paper towel out of all of them. I don't know why. The cleaning is still the same. Things could still spill out, but I do enjoy the paper towel out of all of them. So that was what I use, but when I roll it, it does spill out. So it's not completely like an easy clean, because you're still trying to pick up the mess that spilled out. So that sucks. So I come to this page and someone says they use paper. I don't know what kind of paper. I don't know if she's talking about paper towel or what she's talking about. So they use paper. Then another person says they use the roll ends from the newspaper printers. You can get a huge roll from the stores. So maybe that's an option. Because if you get the huge roll of paper, then it might be easier to just grab it all up, versus like me having to roll it and then try to be like, oh no, something's falling out. Hopefully, then that kind of works, right? And someone says they use Betta chips. Now, I haven't used Betta chips, but they're saying Betta chips are better than wood shavings, pine shavings, like any of that. They're saying the Betta chips are better when they flap and stuff. The Betta chips don't go flying all over the place. Whereas another person does say they use pine shavings and wood shavings. So I guess you could use that. Probably to avoid flapping, you're looking at maybe just putting a thin layer. Or better yet, try Betta chips. Okay, so let's see what else they use. So, yeah. Okay. Someone says the Betta chips can be combed or scooped like kitty litter. So I guess that would be convenient, because then you wouldn't have to change the whole amount all the time. You would just scoop it up, whatever got messy, and throw it out. Like the clumps, when you have a cat. So that actually kind of works. Another person says they use animal safe wood stove pellets. Someone asked them for a brand name, but they never responded. I would be interested in that, because the stove pellets that I'm thinking about would be like the newspaper pellets that you can get for your, the litter for the cat. And I think that might, you still would have to do a lot of cleaning. So it might not be the best option. Someone says they use, I think it says coarse sand, and they should gather and shift it out every couple of days. Coarse sand. Never thought about that. Again, I'm thinking it'd probably be a little bit more work than you would want to do if you have to sit there and shift it out all the time. But maybe. Someone else says they use U-Haul packing paper. It fits all their cages perfectly. So I'm assuming you would go to U-Haul. You would go to U-Haul to get something like that. Okay, packing paper from U-Haul. That's always an option, guys. That might work out. What else do we got here? Oh, another person says they don't use any bedding at all. Just the bare tray. I never even thought about just the bare tray. She says, I wash the tray regularly in my laundry tub. It's free, and you get the whole tray cleaned every time. She says she does it with 50 cages. It's a little bit more work, but it's free and super sanitary, worth the extra effort. So with that, I can definitely see where it would be more sanitary. You don't have to worry about them coming in contact with anything. It's just hitting the bare bottom cage. You wash it off, and you're good to go. Now, you have the grates, I'm sure, so that's perfect. Hmm. Someone said they also did that for a few months and they found it easy and clean. They wiped the bottom often as the 3 cages were in her kitchen. Not practical without grates. The most uncomplicated method of getting it done. Okay, well, I think for me, if I was supposed to do that with no bottom, it would be every night before I go to bed, taking out the trays, rinsing them down. I live in an apartment, so I don't have a laundry room, at least on my floor or in my house. I would probably have to put it in the tub, wash it all down, put it back, wash it all down, put it back every single night. If you have the time, that's definitely not a bad option, and like they said, it's free. Someone says they use newspapers, they change it daily. That's what I was saying. Let's see. And some people say, like what I used to do, I don't know if I did a video about it, but I used to put the paper towel over the top of the crate, because honestly, scrubbing crates is a lot of work. So I used to put the paper towel over the top and just change it every single day. They're saying that that's what they do to avoid having to actually, then it doesn't get your trays messy, and you could just pick it up. But yes, you run into the whole entire thing about maybe if you have a a ground feeder, your bird might go down to the bottom of the cage. Unprinted newspaper bundles, you could buy it at a paper company. 1,000 sheets for $39 plus tax. Okay, that's wonderful. Someone says they use cardboard. Oh, another person says they use washable brushed cotton. Shake, rinse, wash, and rinse in 1 cup of vinegar. Reuse. They get it from secondhand baby stores that sell baby blankets for cheap. And she has 13 cages that she does it for, and she finds that it absorbs much better than paper. When the liners get old, she quilts them together. She's been doing this since 2006. I don't know if I could do that. It sounds perfect because it is cotton. Another person says, nope, nothing at the bottom. Oh, nothing at the bottom. They don't even use a tray. They let it drop right to the floor, and then they clean the floor. They have the floor lined with vapor barrier, and then they change it when needed. I have kids running around, crawling around and stuff, and so I don't really want it on my floor. Another person says they use plastic sheet and then on top of it with shavings. I'm actually thinking that that might be the best option for me, is getting like a saran wrap, spreading it out like a big huge plastic sheet, putting it all in the corners, laying it down, putting your bedding on top, and then you can just lift up that bag and either throw it out or dump it out. I would probably opt for throwing it out and then put a new plastic down. Or if you don't want to keep on buying plastic, then throw it out, throw the bedding off, and there you go. I think that actually is the best option. You wouldn't have to worry about anything actually ever touching the tray, not worrying about anything spilling out of the paper towel like me when I roll it up, and so you don't have to worry about any of that cleaning. I think those are great. And that's it. And the last person says wood shavings. So those are your options, guys. I think that gives you guys a lot of options for bedding for your cages. Whichever one you decide to use, let me know in the comments below. If I didn't mention something that you do use and you find that works, please let me know in the comments below, because I do always try to find the fastest way, the most effective way, and the cleansiest way, obviously, to keep my cages clean. And we all got to help each other out, right? So just remember that parenting parrots is not about being a pet owner, but being a parent to a toddler in parrot form. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. I appreciate it. Ciao.